What's up, everyone? It's Matt Morozic. So it's been a while since I've done a video series, but I figured on this piece, it's probably worthy to do it because this is probably the most complicated, most part count statue I'll ever attempt or have done. This is the last level Samurai Wolverine, and this is all the parts that come with it, with the exception of the tree limbs and tree trunk, which are behind me. So not counting all the cherry blossoms over here. We have about 10 bags of cherry blossoms. There are 66 pieces. You count the cherry blossoms, which I think there's about 150 of them. You're about 230 pieces for this statue. So this is a long project. This is probably one of the coolest Wolverines I've seen in a long time. It's very popular. It's an expensive piece. The kit alone without paint's about $2,000. And then I'm estimating 3 weeks worth of work. So 120 hours, someone there for paint. So 100 hours, 100 to 20 hours to build and paint this piece. So let's kind of look over some of the parts here. So over here we have, I've got all laid out here, my clean workbench. So it comes with two torsos. We have a bare torso, and then we have a armored torso. 5 heads. We have, let's see, 1, 2 are masked. 1 has a helmet, and then the other 3 are unmasked, different expressions and different hairstyles. We have switch out arms, switch out hands. The feet stay the same. Here's the base, which has amazing texture sculpted into it. I'll bring some pieces up closer in a minute. We have the optional cut off tree trunk here, and then I'll try to put this together as best as I can on camera. And then over here we have the helmet, the shoulder pads, the belt, the legs, shoulder. That's like I guess maybe the scarf, I would call that. Shoulder pads. We have the katanas, or not the katanas, but the samurai swords. He only has 3 claws because only his left hand has claws in it, depending on which hand you have in or which arm. All the armor plating here, and then the hundreds of cherry blossoms. And then over here on the other side of my work area is the cherry blossom tree and all the branches and stuff. So out of this whole piece, this is probably going to be, as far as this is going to be pretty challenging just to pack and stuff to get it there without breaking. It's very fragile. So anyway, this is what consists of this statue. And I'm going to pause, bring my camera down a little bit, and we'll try to put them together. The part that's hard to put together is the tree. So I know a lot of people have had this built, and the tree shows up in hundreds of pieces. I've had some people send me some messages on advice on how to ship it. So I'm going to talk to my client about that as we go along. He's already sent me some ideas of paint wise and stuff like that, but it's very detailed. John already just finished one up and it looks amazing. I don't think he did the cherry blossom tree though. I think he just did the base with the cut off trunk. But in my opinion, you have to have the cherry blossom tree because this piece is cool. So let me bring this down. We'll start putting it together. Okay, so I just lowered the camera a little bit, and let's look at some of these pieces up close to look at some of the sculpting. So this is sculpted by Franco Carlesimo. I didn't mention that earlier. He's very well known in the statue and sculpting world. So starting at the bottom of the base, I love the base. It's relatively simple with the exception of the cherry blossom tree, but there's a ton of great detail here in the grass and stuff. And then we just have some simple like river rocks and kind of like a muddy bottom to it. The base footprint isn't that big. If you don't have the cherry blossom tree built on top, this footprint's relatively small, but the cherry blossom tree is huge. Let's look at the feet and the sculpting on the feet because we're going to build this guy coming up. So here we have, I don't know all the terminology as far as like the samurai clothing, so I'm just going to call these the boots. I know that's not what they're called, but a lot of I love the texture sculpted in this. The texture's a little over sculpted, which I like, which makes painting a pleasure because it's easy to get in there and get the details. But he's got these sandals on with the ropes to kind of hold them on, and this great cloth texture here. And then the ropes kind of holding on this armor. This almost looks like it shouldn't be made out of wood. So I don't know. Again, we're going to have a lot of communication with my client as far as like color scheme goes. And it pegs into right here. So there's one peg in the whole piece. And then the other boot or their foot is very similar. And there's a magnet here and a magnet on this stone. Okay. And then we have the pants, or the legs. Again, this is pretty hefty. This is done by Ownage, so super high quality. I looked at this pretty close last week, and I didn't see any issues. So this should, as far as assembly goes, should be pretty straightforward. I don't see any fitting issues or anything. But again, here are the legs, and those just go right in there, just like that. And now the next part would be the belt. Again, that's not the correct terminology because all this samurai clothing has a name, but I don't know what it is. And this is a fairly simple part. Just some cloth with a rope for like a belt area. And that only fits on one way, just like that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start adding some of these armor pieces to the waist. And these are really cool. These are super highly detailed. And how many of these? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 like pieces of armor. And it'll take me a second to figure out where they go, but they all have these like different markings on them. Really nicely done. It's like this guy, I think, goes back there. Yeah, they pretty much only fit in one spot. And I may have to take some on and off as I go because they kind of overlap a little bit. And again, just a lot of great detail in this piece. It's like that. I think that one goes, yeah, so they kind of, yeah, that one goes there. So then the other one's going to go on the other side. Very similar. Same markings, just a left and a right. I think that goes there. Nope. Okay, nope. Let's see. I think I got that one right. Let's see. This one goes. Nope. They only fit in one spot. And that one goes there. This one would go here. Okay, it does, but oh, that's interesting. So, so there's a magnet here, but they forgot to put a magnet there. So I'll have to add a magnet to the pants there. So it does go there. There's just no magnet in the leg there for some reason. So I'll add a magnet there. So even on these really super high-end kits, sometimes they forget things. Technically, I really don't need a magnet because this piece would hold this in. But I am going to go ahead and add a magnet to the leg so that goes in there. So that was in the right spot. There's just no magnet. And then we've got this piece, I think, goes here. It's going to go underneath the belt a little bit. And then we have, I think is that the, okay, so there you go. So there's all the waist armor. It's really beautifully done. Just like that. And we're going to build up the armored version first, since we're kind of going there. And that's going to go on top there. Okay. And then we have these beautiful chest armors, chest and back plates. Again, with all this great detail in them. So this is actually like a painter's dream, just because the detail is so crazy. It's a ton of detail. And these do overlap a little bit. The back goes on first, and the front goes on because it's got these little straps that kind of overlap. Like that. And then, actually, this probably should have gone on first. Let's see. Yeah, so there we go. Because these pieces overlap at this collar. So that should have gone on first. No big deal. You can still get into fit. But yeah, the fit's really good on this piece. Let's see right there. That's got a... There we go. Just like that. I love the armored version. I think it's freaking phenomenal. Let's see. Now we have a couple options with the arms. Looks like the left arm is not a switch out. That stays the same. And this is the one with the claws. So got metal claws already polished. Let's see how, and they fit in there pretty good. I probably won't glue I could probably glue these in. Again, it all depends on shipping, but they actually don't need to be glued in because they fit very well. And it's a nice deep key. So depending on if I can get them to ship without glue, or kind of determines that. So there's that. So this isn't a switch out. This stays a bent arm with claws. Now you have two options on the right arm. One's bent and one's straight. And they're both holding swords. So let's put the straight one on. that. And then he's got, for some reason, they molded this armor separately, but on the bent one, they put it on there. So who knows why they did that. No big deal. And then we've got some shoulder armors. Again, these only fit one way. That one goes there. And that's not the right one. The key's not right. And that, just like that. Okay. So next we have these shoulder armors, and these are going to go in like that. And like this. And there you go. You have all the armor on. And now he's got some tassels and things that go around. And we're going to put those on. Those go around the belt. So we have, again, we got to kind of look at what they do. Where do they go? Okay, so this one's the front one. This has a magnet. It's a rope. And that fits in there nicely. And then we've got, because these actually kind of hold the swords. Or let's see if that one fits there. I think it does. Nope. This one fits there. These are keyed. I think that one goes there. Let's see. There's a little bit of gap right there. I may fiddle with that a little bit, see if I can get it to fit better. Now, he is a little wobbly at the legs here. So, again, depends if I can pack it. I may glue the feet onto the legs because he's a little wobbly right here. So I think some epoxy on that foot would be beneficial. Okay, now we have a couple more tassels. And looks like one goes up here. I think that goes there. Let's see. Nope. This looks like that goes to the hair. Nope. Let's see, where do these guys go? We've got two more tassels, and I got to find out where they go. I'm going to take this arm off for a second. I think. It's supposed to go on this arm. I could be wrong. Maybe not. Okay, I'll have to figure that out. Okay. Yeah, so I think in the end, I'm going to glue these feet on. I think that just feels safer for stability purposes that's glued on. I'm going to check these out and see if I got these in the right spot. Yeah, okay, so it's got to go there. That needs a little work there fitting wise. So even on these really super high-end kits, sometimes you got to play with the fitting. Okay. That's looking good. Excuse me. Okay, so now we got a couple options here with the hand. So this one, the hand just comes down like this, and it's holding one of the samurai swords. I'm not sure if the blade will stay on. Let's see. Without glue. Actually, this goes like that. I'm assuming this one's going to slide in here, maybe. I have to look at some pictures, actually, maybe, to make sure that I know how these go together. Okay, so that's going to go in like that, since he's not holding it. And then hopefully I'm not missing a piece. Let's see. This looks like this goes in here. Okay. So you have options. It looks like you can have the swords in his hand out of the sheath, or okay. So that's, I have to look at that a little bit later because I'm confused. All right, so the heads, we have 5 heads. Here's one of the unmasked heads. Looking really good. Here's that same head, but just a different expression. Kind of gritting his teeth. And then here's a head with a top knot on it, which I have over here. Where'd the top knot go? Here. It's like that. So you've got a top knot. And then, whoops, just dropped the top knot. And we have 2 masked heads. So here's this one with the mask on it. No helmet. And then here's the other one, masked with a helmet. And the helmet comes off, obviously. And then the helmet here magnetizes on. And John Allred made a little stand for this helmet. So if it's not on, you can display it. So I'm going to do that for my client. He wants a little stand for it. So there you go. I have to figure out the swords, how those go. And then I have this long. Oh, okay. This goes. Where does this go? It doesn't go there. I'm going to have to look at some pictures maybe. Does this go up in here? Yeah. So this maybe goes up there. I have to look at it. Yeah. So you get to sit here and watch me fiddle with this for a little bit while I figure some of this out. So when I first got this, I kind of messed with it, but not a whole lot. Okay. So that doesn't go there. So I need to look at some photos of where some of this stuff goes. I think this is supposed to go there, but it's not quite fitting. Yeah, there we go. Okay, it's just a tight fit, so I'll have to maybe work on that fit a little bit there. That goes there. Okay, thought so. Yeah, so some of the fit on this is a little wonky. I'll need a little, like, drill out that hole a little bit more maybe. Get that to fit a little bit. So the first day is just prep. I'm just kind of going over all this, washing all the parts, making sure everything fits correctly. Oh, here, these go down here on the boots. Okay. What are the feet will say? That one goes there. This one goes here. Okay, so that's where those go. Right, so there we go. We got Samurai all put together. I have to look at the blades because right now the metal blades don't want to fit into the handles. So what you do is you have options. You can have it in the knot where it holds it, or you can take the blade out and have them holding of the blade. So I need to, so these parts are interchangeable. This with the blade is interchangeable. So this fits great right now because, let's see, if I take this arm off and I put this arm on, like so, and we put in the other hand like this. Now he's got this in he's holding it like so. So this comes up like this. So you got to kind of play with this a little bit to get to fit. This comes up through his hand like that, and then this plugs in. Or should. Which way is it? Let's see. Hold on. You need to watch me sit here fiddle with this for a second. Yeah. Like that. Okay. Sorry to get my head in the way here for a second. Come on. So this is a little wonky right here, getting this to fit, line up. I have a hard time seeing some of the light right there. There we go. So if you have it lined up correctly, then he's holding it like that, which is kind of cool. So with this option, his hand's holding the sheathed samurai sword. With the other arm, then it's outstretched and you can put the blade in. So however you want to do that. Okay, so there is the armored Wolverine. Okay. And let's take off. We can switch out the heads if you want. And those all fit really, really well. Let's put this armor on. Let's see. All right. There we go. So it's looking really sharp. And it looks like I meant to go through the box again. I'm missing one little piece. Looks like right there, a little knot. Still have to go through the box and make sure I'm not missing that. If not, I'll have to sculpt something. But that's the only piece I'm seeing right now that doesn't have a spot. So it's going to be a long video just showing this piece off. Sorry about the donkey noise in the background. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, great portraits. Yeah, he's really wobbly on his legs there. So I'm going to glue those feet on, and then I'll just have to recut the foam. And then this guy with the top knot. Just like that. Okay, so now if you want to take off the armor pieces and just do no armor version. So I'm going to take all this off. Like so. I'm going to put this to the side. And then this just goes on like so. And he's kind of lunging forward a little bit. Now this also, I think I'm going to work on the fit a little bit. Because when he leans forward, there's a little bit of a gap right here. And I'm not digging that. It's a little wobbly. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put him on here. And I'm going to fill in this gap onto the torso. I can't fill it. I can't attach the putty to the belt. I have to attach it to the torso. Otherwise, the other part won't fit. So when he leans forward, there's quite a bit of gap there. So I'm going to fill that and get that to fit better. And since he's got... So this one, he's got his outstretched hand there. Like that again, he'd be holding one of the samurai swords. And this hand is back here. Like that. And the claws would go in there. I kind of wish they would have given you 6 claws. That way you don't have to switch these out. But I've only got 3. So again, I'll check the box again. But I could have sworn I went through the box twice when I unpacked this guy because I knew there were so many parts. And that's like that. And then obviously then all the heads switch out. So this one you probably wouldn't use any of the masked portraits. You'd use all the unmasked portraits. But yeah, so this guy now looks like he's kind of attacking a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the armored one, and then we'll try to put this tree together as much as possible. Because the tree is pretty damn impressive. That. So if you're still sticking around, this is going to be, again, a long video, but I think it'll be kind of worth it. Okay, we're going to try to put this back together. Get this all lined up. Let's see. Yeah. So I don't know. Personally, what I would do if this was my piece, I would pick either, because switching out the blades, I think would be a really pain in the ass, to be honest. That's just my opinion. I would pick, and this isn't going to stay in very well. So it's very fiddly for that. Okay, so let's get this tree going, and we'll see if we can put it together. So there'll be some assembly by my client when he gets it. Actually, be a lot of assembly. Okay, so you have the first option is this piece right here. You can have this broken off trunk, and it just goes in like that. So you can have that if you want, but that's not very fun. I'm going to put on this head, because this to me is like the winner, because he just looks badass. Okay. So if you don't want to do that, you can take this off. And you can start to build this tree. So there's the main trunk. I'm going to back up quite a bit, and I'll try not to get in front of the camera too much. And then you have this piece. And I've already had, when I first got this, there were already a few little branches broken, so I'll have to deal with those. And this comes in. That. There. Yeah, that goes there. And then this comes up on the top, I believe. Okay. So far that's what we got. But now we have a ton of other little branches, and some fit really well and some are really, really loose. So, and again, this will just take me, I've only put this together once so far since I've had this. To take a quick photo. So this will take me a little while to figure out. Again, he's real wobbly. Yeah, those feet are going to have to be glued big time. It's making me nervous. So I think I may pause, because this is going to take me a while to put this together, and I'll come back. Okay, well, it took a while, but I was able to get it together finally. So what's going to have to happen, the tree's going to take a while to build, because what's happening is that most all the branches key into the center column here, and the pegs are hitting each other, and the keys are loose. So when I get to this part of the tree, I'm going to spend a lot of time kind of rekeying all these parts, because it's just loose. And when I touch this one moves, because the metal pins are touching in the middle of the branch. So it's just very, very precarious right now. And these little tips are very fragile. So I've already had a few of these tips broke off before I even try to put this together, just from when I received the kit. But there you go. So that's the whole piece with the cherry blossom tree without the hundreds of cherry blossoms on it. But there you go. That's an intro to this piece. Long video, but cool piece. So first thing I've got to do is I'm going to work on getting the naked torso to fit better on the waist. I'm going to, that's the first thing I need to do. I'll do that today. I need to wash all the pieces, really get in some soapy water. And then I talked a little bit with my client about color schemes and stuff. Today's a prep day, just making sure everything fits well and such like that, going through and rekeying anything that needs to be rekeyed. So there's usually 1 day, 1.5 days worth of prep on these things, even though, it's an ownage kit and it's really high quality. A lot of times there's still some work to do before any paint is applied. But this is going to be a really cool project. I'm really looking forward to it. So the next video will be just kind of showing how I rekey things. and just going through the kit and making sure everything fits well. But thanks for watching this intro video, and stay tuned for the first work in progress on this piece. And it'll be a long one, but it should be fun. So thanks for watching. Bye.